It's another New Book Tuesday. I'm Miss Laura.
And I'm Miss Andrea.
And we're here to tell you about some cool new books that we've got in the library.
First off is a trio of graphic novels for our middle-aged readers. We have one called Twins. That's about an experience that many of us went through during middle school. This happens to be two sisters who get to middle school and find out that maybe they're interested in other things than just the stuff they always loved together. And they're starting to get worried that perhaps they're growing farther apart. Twins. Another new graphic novel is number 8 in the Babysitters Club series. I don't know if any of you have been watching the Babysitters Club on Netflix or if you've read the chapter books, but number 8 in the graphic novel series, Logan Likes Marianne.
Ooh.
And another oldie but a goodie story, Animorphs is back! Do you guys know Animorphs?
Animorphs was one of my favorite series growing up, and I'm super excited about this graphic novel adaptation. It's got really cool art. It's all about some kids who are fighting aliens by turning into animals. You can see up here, Jake turning into a lizard.
That is crazy.
Isn't it? It's so cool.
What a great fantasy, though.
Yeah, it's really fun. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of family and friends, relationships. It's great.
Awesome.
For teens, we've also got some book twos of a series. First, we've got The Silvered Serpents, which is the sequel to The Gilded Wolves. It's a heist novel set in a fantasy version of France. Really fun, really exciting. Then we've got Darius the Great Deserves Better, a sequel to Darius the Great Is Not Okay. This time Darius is in America trying to navigate family, friends, relationships. He's got his first boyfriend, but he maybe has a crush on someone else. Very dramatic. Very fun.
And our middle grade novel selection is full of sequels too, and series. We have book 5 in The Trials of Apollo, The Tower of Nero. We have book 8, I think, in Spy School, Revolution. And Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 15, people. The Deep End. It's about a family vacation. That gets pretty tricky.
Marie Lu, the author of Warcross and Legends and the Young Elite series, has another new series. This one's called Sky Hunter, and it looks really exciting. The people in it are fighting some mutant beasts, and the war is not going well. Uh-oh.
Beautiful cover art, too.
It is. And
what happens when we open it up? Yay!
It looks even cooler. And on the side, it spells out Sky Hunter.
Nice. So in picture books, we've got a returning author, too. Wisconsin's own Kevin Henkes. This is such an adorable little book. It's actually a chapter book about Sunflower Lion. It's beautiful. It's simple and quiet and tender. Another new book is called Boys Dance. It's a wonderful, affirming story full of positivity about really just exploring what you love. In this case, the boys love to dance, and it's from the American Ballet Theater. So they also feature some real-life male ballet dancers. Laura, do you remember the bibliographies we created for our educator page?
I do. There were lots of them.
Well, one of the educator page bibliographies is on math. So we're going to have to add this book to it. It's called In the Half Room.
Ooh.
And when we open the cover, it's a cutout. Because, in fact, there's really half of everything for the beginning of the story.
Oh.
It looks kind of goofy.
Yes, there's half a tree over there.
Yeah, but ultimately, at the end of the story, they find their wholeness.
Very mathy.
The next 3 books all have to deal with Old Man Winter. I know a lot of us aren't looking forward to it, but then you might want to read, If Winter Comes, Tell It I'm Not Here.
That's how I feel.
It's really adorable about a little kid who loves to swim and eat ice cream, and he thinks that once winter comes, everything will be ruined. And, of course, it is cold and there is snow, but he finds out there are good things about it, too. A polar bear in the snow is just a delight. It's illustrated with cut and torn paper and ink. So all of the pages have this sort of 3D quality to them. And it's just a beautiful story about what could that bear possibly be doing. Turns out he's going to go to play, but it's lovely.
Fun.
It's a beautiful snow story. And then we have 10 ways to hear the snow. So think about it. How the snow sounds when you walk in it. How it sounds when it falls off a tree and hits you on the head. How it sounds when you throw it. Lots of ways to listen to the snow. I'd highly recommend it.
If you're a fan of The Fault in Our Stars or 6 Feet Apart, you'll want to try out Just Breathe. It's a story about a boy in a hospital for cystic fibrosis, which is difficult to deal with, and a girl who volunteers at that hospital. And they don't really know each other outside of that, but they find that they've got a connection. But the thing is, they might not have a lot of time left in order to make that connection real. You'll have to read it and see what happens.
This book is called Becoming Muhammad Ali, and it was a collaboration between 2 authors you probably know, James Patterson and Kwame Alexander. It's called a biographical novel, and it is written part in verse, so what looks like a poem, and then also in prose, so sections that look like chapters and paragraphs. But it really is a look at Muhammad Ali when he was a kid and what life was like for him that led him to become the world champion.
I've got a teen book that's written partially in prose and partially in verse.
Aha!
The Snow Fell 3 Graves Deep is a historical fiction novel about the Donner Party. Now, they had a lot of trouble. If you don't know the story, I don't want to spoil it, but I will tell you that one of the coolest things about this is that it's got a lot of different narrators, and one of them is Hunger. Hunger is narrating this story.
I love that tool. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, we're going to keep on with sort of grim stories. This one is called The Mulberry Tree. And it's about a family, parents and a child who decide to make a big move. I believe they actually go to another country. Kind of just start over, start afresh. They're ready for a change in life. And they end up renting this house that most people refuse to rent because it has this really big and kind of grotesque mulberry tree in the yard. And there's an ancient story about the mulberry tree. And supposedly, there are 2 girls who have gone missing, and the mulberry tree is the culprit. When young girls turn 12 and they live near the mulberry tree, something happens. Guess how old the girl is in our story?
Like 11 and a half.
Yep. The mulberry tree. Get it before it gets you.
We're moving to nonfiction with The Radium Girls, a story about factory workers who were working with radium, which you might know as something dangerous. But when they were doing it, nobody had any idea, or at least not the people working in the factories. They were doing things like licking their brushes to keep them sharp, the brushes with radium on it. And it, as you might be able to guess, didn't have good effects. It's a fascinating story and also kind of horrifying.
Well, this is just a snippet of the new materials we have in. I know Laura and I have been ordering constantly this fall, and so there's tons of new stuff on the shelves in the regular collection and on the new book displays in both youth and teens.
There's going to be something there that you'll enjoy, so give a new book a try.
We'll hope to see you soon. Bye.